Hello, my name is Creator, and today I want to talk about Denji from Chainsaw Man, who I believe is still the most misunderstood shonen character, and maybe all of a shonen. um, Disclaimer: I have no script. I'm just going off, my head for this video, and I have like some bullet notes that I wrote down. But yeah, let's get into it. I know you've seen a lot of videos. You may have seen a lot of videos like last year, maybe 2 years ago, saying Denji, the internet's greatest victim. Denji's the most misunderstood character. Why Denji is so misunderstood? I'm just reading them off my screen right now. But I think that's still very true. I think Denji is misunderstood for two reasons. Reason number one, people call him a perv. And reason number two, they say his character is looping. I'm going to focus on number two this video. Not really number one. Maybe at the end I will. But number two, mostly, Denji's character seems to be looping, or Denji is too dumb to recognize what's going on around him. See, this video started from last chapter because of a drama from this panel where Denji says, after Yoru kills another civilian that he's trying to save, he says, "You look cute, but you were a devil all along." In real replies, "I'm the only woman you need, aren't I?" That's not really important, but what Denji says is very important. This caused, listen, I won't say it's a big drama, but somewhat of an upset, I would say. And I think people are taking I think people takes what Denji says too literally. Like, did it in part one, which is why people call him a perv, and now they're doing it now in part two, which is why people are saying Denji's character isn't developing, or he's in a loop, or he has shown no growth. And I'm going to show you a direct parallel to what Denji says right here. Just a few chapters ago, not really a few, but a couple chapters ago, it's kind of a lot. But after Yoru destroys Tokyo with the Statue of Liberty, Asa isn't shocked and says, "Yoru, how could I forget? Yoru's the devil." And she's in pure fear, pure terror, while Yoru laughs behind her. This is the exact same realization Denji had this chapter. And like back then, people were criticizing Asa, saying, "Oh, Asa, how could you forget? Asa's so dumb. Asa doesn't realize anything, blah, 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 blah." But I think people are forgetting the major context that of Asa wanted to fix Yoru. Earlier in part two, Asa believed that she could tame Yoru, she could fix her, maybe she could befriend Yoru, so that, even if she can't get Yoru out of her brain, she could, change her. And this isn't a new trend we see. And also, Asa mentioned it very recently, where Asa is begging Denji to kill her. Asa says, "There was no way I could ever be friends with the devil," referencing this and all the experience they had up to this point. "And I was an idiot to get duped." And Denji says, "I think you could be friends." So this is also what Denji says here is a very important in reference to, not that Kanji, to saying, "But you were a devil all along." Saying you were a devil all along because Denji also, like Yoru in this, no, sorry. Denji also, like Asa back then, believed that you could be friends because Denji is friends with Pochita, a devil living inside of him. He's basically like Asa. He has a devil inside of him, but he's friends with Pochita. So he believes, you could say naively, that they could be friends. So this isn't a new character trait for Denji. And also, not only that, but power. Like, power is the biggest example that I think everyone's forgetting. Denji is literally saying, not literally, but basically saying what Asa is saying here. Denji, when he first meets Power and they had a little argument about Pochita, Denji says, "There's no way I could be friends with this chick." You could argue, oh, he means this chick specifically, but I would say he means like kind of a devil, And that's what Asa believes now. And if we know if you've been paying attention to Chainsaw Man, Denji says this, but him and Power become literally brother and sister in terms of their relationship. So that's why Denji, you could say, would naively believe Asa and Yoru could become friends. This is obviously this mentality is obviously destroyed when he begs for Yoru to help him, and she does what she does in the last chapter 201. And also, I seen people. A side note, I seen people say, "Oh, since when could Denji see Asa? I mean, sorry, since when could Denji see Yoru?" Denji, it was confirmed like in the early part of the Chainsaw Man Church arc that uh when Asa turns into Yoru, she gets scars. So like everyone can see Yoru. It's just that no one knows that it's Yoru. And also, I just realized that I said like a nerd. Please ignore the fact that I just did But continuing on. So yeah, my point I'm trying to make is Denji Denji is dumb. I'm not going to pretend like Denji isn't dumb. Well, no, he's not dumb. Denji is dumb to an extent. There's nuance. There's nuance with his character that I think people are like just not acknowledging. To an extent, yes, he is dumb, but Denji hasn't like stagnated or is like in a loop. He literally mentions, "Hey, Pachita, a dangerous girl likes me. I'm probably about to get screwed again." He understands the danger that Yoru and Asa are. He understands that Yoru is a devil and that Asa is a human with a devil inside of her and that they are vastly different. He understands that. But I really think people are taking the words, "but you were a devil all along," too literally. People like how people took Yoru's a devil too literally. It's not the fact that they're just now realizing, "Oh, Yoru is from hell, she's a devil." It's the fact that they're realizing she's a devil down to her personality, meaning in Denji's for producing using Pochita as an example. Pochita is not, as far as we know, a devil down to his personality. Pochita is friendly to humans and helps humans and saves humans and sides with Denji. Power, she used to be a devil down to her personality, but then Denji got close to her and changed her. This was oh, gotta find it. This was Denji realizing Yoru is not power. Not that she's a devil, but she is not power. And I think another example, iconic example, I'm pretty sure people have. This is an iconic panel of Chainsaw Man. This is very much what caused the Denji is a gooner allegations or mentality or sentiment. When people hear about Chainsaw Man, they think about this, you know. And this is literally another example of not people taking the words too literally. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to pull my intention of this video is not to police how people enjoy it. You can enjoy and interpret the manga however you want. I'm just saying this is how I believe this is what I believe Fujimoto is trying to tell us. When other people have used this example in their videos, I'm going to use it again because it obviously correlates. But when Denji is hunched over saying, "I want to touch some boobs," yes, does he want to do that? Obviously he does. He's a horny teen young adult. He wants to do that. He likes girls. He wants to do that, obviously. But at this point in the story, what he's actually saying here is, I want, genuine affection. I want genuine love. I want genuine relationship with someone, or someone / a female. But I would say genuine relationship with someone, not a female, because he skips his trip with Makima to be with Aki and Power, if you remember. So this is what he's basically saying. I want relationships, not just explicitly, I just want to touch boobs. Even though that may be true, what he really wants is a relationship. Like how, again, not to beat a dead horse, but obviously he's not literally meaning, "Oh, you're not a devil." He's saying, to your core, I cannot change you to become Power. I cannot change you to become Pochita. Like how Asa also said, basically means, I cannot change you to become my friend because you are evil. which I don't, which people, again, like I'm saying, I'm not trying to dictate or police how people enjoy or read things. I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving my perspective on what I believe Fujimoto's trying to tell us, which is probably most accurate. I'm just saying, it's probably most accurate. And I had another slide here. But yeah, back to what I was saying, he wants someone to love him. I mean, we literally see it again, like he literally breaks down crying, saying after he hears that Asa likes him from Yoru, he says, I'm so glad someone still likes me. Because obviously no one liked him at the start. And then he got power and Aki. Nayuta, relationships build up, they get destroyed. He's all alone again. And now he hears someone finally likes him again. So, again, this was before Denji crying, saying that was before this. So obviously his mentality has shifted from, oh, Yoru's just bad, to maybe if Yoru and Asa like me, maybe I can get Yoru and Asa to, be good, not be evil. I don't think he thinks Asa is evil, but he could maybe get Yoru to be, good. But that's my interpretation of it, And moving on to the first part, I'm going to touch on it a little bit, saying Denji is, people saying, the other point of people saying Denji's character is, he's just a perv. Obviously, I already talked about it, but like, I think people need to understand that like Denji is still like an 18, as of to this story / this panel, he's an 18/19-year-old man / boy. He's an 18/19-year-old. Like, yeah, 18/19-year-olds, they like girls. Like, like obviously he's gonna, being Denji, someone who's never had a girl or a relationship like that, obviously he's going to, he's going to fold. He's going to fold to women. I think that's like a part of his character. Like people were saying, like, again, like when Yoru told him to put his hand in his mouth, and people were mad about that, saying, "Oh, Denji, why would you, fold so easily to Yoru and listen to her and do all this stuff?" Like, he's like, I think that's a fundamental part of Denji's character. Like every character has a fundamental part of them. Like in every every show, cartoon, anime. So I think Denji, like let me think of an example. For example, Goku likes to fight in Dragon Ball. He loves fighting. He always wants a new challenger, a new opponent, and he will literally, in the show, as we've seen, and I think Vegeta has done it too, but Goku will literally allow a villain to power up to get to their strongest so that he can fight them at their strongest. Is that dumb? Yes, it's very dumb to do for Goku to do, but he does it because that's just Goku. So Denji, at his core, I don't want to use the S word, but he likes girls. He really likes girls. He wants a real relationship with them. But is he a super perv that he'll like, SA a female? Obviously not, because as we've seen after this, when Yoru was on her bed, Fujimoto did like a little fake out, like implying that Denji would grab her breasts, but he doesn't. He just puts a blanket over her because he's a gentleman. He also is a gentleman to Himeno, where Himeno offers to do that with him in the very beginning of Chainsaw Man, but he lets her sleep on the bed. He sleeps on the floor instead of doing that. He easily could have. He was a gentleman of Reze. Denji is a gentleman. Himeno said it, but Denji is literally a gentleman. But people keep thinking he's like, I don't know. It's like moments like this make people think Denji is just a gooner. But there's so many more moments where he's literally just like a good gentleman, even in part 2, as recent as like the last 10 chapters of Chainsaw Man. He's a gentleman. So obviously I hate that mentality that people give him. I hate that label that people give him. But I mean, what can you do, man? It's like there's you know what I mean. I say you know what I mean, you probably don't know what I mean. Like what I'm trying to say is like the best way I can describe it, to put my words to it, is there's a majority opinion. And like you can't argue / explain everything with the entire internet / with everyone reading it. And like I said, everyone can have their own interpretations and own opinions when they read this. but I think I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't make me sound elitist, or to try to say it in a way that doesn't make me sound like, I don't know, I'm smarter than everyone. Because I'm not trying to say I'm smarter or know more than anyone, but I'm just saying what I believe, how his character is supposed to be interpreted, and how the story's supposed to be interpreted. But I think obviously a lot of the general. And another thing, I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, Chainsaw Man is a 200 IQ manga that only super smart people can understand, and if you're not super smart, you're dumb, or something like that. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm really not trying to be like that. But what I'm trying to say is, I think the general public, or the majority, maybe not even majority, like half, I would say half the people that read slash watch Chainsaw Man won't get that undertone. And I could be completely wrong about that. That could be completely wrong. I could be, underestimating people, but I don't know. Like, I think I've seen, especially with like Jujutsu Kaisen, a trend of like people not understanding the story that they read. Like, I often go on like rants in my videos, and like I hate on Chainsaw Man fans on Twitter a lot, and on my YouTube videos. And usually that's like for entertainment. Like, what I'm saying? Like I like it's funny to crash out. It's funny to crash out to me, and hopefully people who watch me. And I try not to crashing out this video and try to keep it like calm and level headed, because I genuinely did want to talk about this. But I'm kind of rambling right now. But yeah, that's what I think. I think Denji is like, in all of shonen, he is the most misunderstood character. He truly is. Like, Denji has genuinely so much more to his character. Like, if you just take a second and like think about the things that are happening. And I'm not saying I'm not saying it can be helped, because it can't be helped, because Fujimoto obviously does shocking things in the manga. For example, the alleyway scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fujimoto was shocked. He does, like, Fujimoto. What Fujimoto does is, and it's a trend with Fujimoto. He did it in Fire Punch, and he's doing it in all of Chainsaw Man. He like has a shocking moment, then has a serious, real moment that's like really important, and then another shocking moment right after. So like the shocking moment before, or in better yet, the shocking moment right after the serious moment is kind of overshadowed, so people don't think about it as much. You know, like Denji crying in this chapter behind me. Denji crying, saying, "I'm so happy somebody finally loves me or likes me." That's the serious moment. But the shocking moment is this: defeat the Death Devil and I'll have sex with you. So obviously, exactly when this chapter came out, everyone on the internet was focusing on this, saying, "Oh, Denji's gonna fall for it again. Denji's doing this. Denji's in a cycle, blah, 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 blah." But literally, like 2 pages before, Denji is acknowledging the situation he's in, and like how he wants people to like him, and how he's like broken completely. But anyway, and literally, in my 24 hours of hell video, I emphasized this, how like this whole arc of aging and stuff leading up to this was literally 24 hours. Like, Denji is so broken at this point in time. But yeah, I'm rambling. But yeah, I think Denji is very misunderstood. And obviously this one video won't change that. And like I said, I can't change like a majority of people's opinions. No one can. But I think people will understand as the story continues, and after part 2 ends. I don't know if there will be a part 3. Who knows? But after Chainsaw Man ends, and as the story continues, I think people will understand that it's not that he's regressing or in a loop, but he clearly is learning, but it's just not being emphasized as much as, the shock moments, or the moments where he says something, but it's not really interpreted in the right way. Like, Denji's character is that he can't really articulate what he really wants to say. So he just simplifies it down like, I want to touch boobs, or you're a devil, blah, 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 like I mentioned. But yeah, thanks for watching. I really don't have much to say, but yeah, that's just one of my those are my thoughts. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.